Well, it has been about 3 weeks since I played a major EDM festival in the US North Coast and opened up for Sophie Tucker, a major EDM touring artist, in a premier theater in Chicago, Remova Theater. This isn't even my local market, and it definitely was the biggest weekend of Ray Callahan so far. And up until this weekend, 6 months, 9 months, I've been thinking about how do I capitalize on the biggest gig of my career. And we definitely found out. We found out. And we're going to get to that. But first, let's see what went well and what could have gone better the whole weekend. Let's go. Hey everybody, my name is Mitch, but you may know me as Ray Callahan, and currently I am in Chicago for North Coast 2025. Tomorrow is my first ever festival set. I'm closing down the Silent Disco stage from 9 to 10, and I cannot be more excited. But tonight is even bigger gig, maybe you could say. I am playing at the Remova Theater to open up for Sophie Tucker, their after party as part of North Coast after parties. And man, I am so excited. Over 1,000 tickets have been sold for this. It could sell out by the time doors open. We will see. But I'm playing from doors open 11. I'm playing from 11:30 to about 12:10. Then Max Wagner's after me, and then they go on at 1. So I'm not direct support, but that's okay. This is still the biggest gig I've ever had. So I'm pumped. It's gonna be jam-packed with DJ saxophone action. We got some disco. We got some funk. We got some house. It is going to be so much fun. So let's do this. In this next clip, you're gonna see this guy standing very front row, and I was trying to get him to dance pretty much my whole set. From the second I stepped on stage, I was immediately locked in. I was feeling the music, I was feeling myself, I was paying attention to what was going on in the crowd. I could see who was having a great time, who was having a not so great time, who was just there for Sophie Tucker, doesn't really care about the opener. I don't know. So, big burly guy, pretty much right front row. I do probably the cheesiest thing a DJ could do ever try and get everybody to get low right before the drop. I don't know. I was feeling myself, felt like a great idea at the time. He does not want to go down. Keep an eye out. But immediately after I do that, some girls to the right immediately get low and they're feeling it. They're having a great time. Honestly, one of my highlights of the set. So keep an eye out. So my whole set, I wanted people to feel what I felt. I wanted them to feel excited. I wanted them to feel joy. I wanted them to feel how big this moment was for me. And I think I did a pretty good job of that, getting on the mic immediately, showing how excited I was, showing how much I was feeling my music, and inviting them into my world and to dance. And I thought there was going to be visuals. I brought visuals. There wasn't a visual guy when I showed up. Perfectly fine. So I felt like I had to compensate for that and show what the Ray Callahan experience was, show them what Ray Callahan energy was. So I knew if things were going well, if they were feeling it, I was going to get up on the table. And I wanted to give people a moment to remember, a picture in their brain of how much this guy was enjoying himself. Because none of them will have heard of me unless they looked up the opener on Instagram or something like that. So I did it, and I'm proud I did it, and I think it was worth it. And other people on the lineup even said they enjoyed it. You could still see that guy in the front row, still not having a great time. And I don't know what to tell you. I gave him everything I got. And I think at this point, he's just really enjoying what I'm doing, but trying not to seem interested because he knew I was keeping an eye on him. Because I was keeping an eye on everyone. I knew exactly who was having a great time. And that's what is one of the beautiful moments of being DJ, is when you're locked into the crowd, you feel the music more and you just become one. So when I got the gig, I knew I needed to capitalize on this moment. If I just post an Instagram carousel promoting my set, post a thank you after my set, or something like that, it may as well have been like my set never happened. Because the thing is, with playing a silent disco set, it's what you treat it to be like. And my set was the final headliner on Sunday, pretty much same time as them. I played from 9 to 10, and playing while Zed was playing while Zed's Dead was playing, and playing while RL Grime was playing. So I knew I needed to promote my set hardcore and show them that there's a reason why this DJ is playing from 9 to 10 with all these other DJs. Sounds crazy, right? So the first idea I thought of is playing saxophone on the day of my set, just around the festival to promote my set. And it was a lot of fun.
We're here at North Coast. Nobody knows my name. Let's go change that.
So one of the vendors' booths was playing music as you walk in, and a day or two before that, I took note of that, and I go up to them and I ask, "Can you play this track by Grizz?" And I pretty much played sax over top of it. Didn't get a great shot of what the crowd looked like at that time. That's okay, but yeah, it was a cool moment as people were walking in. I just walked around with my sax after that too. Some people asked me to play. Did it help promote my set? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. It created a moment for people, created some content for people, for myself, and I just had fun. It loosened my nerves, and it just reminded me why I'm there.
I want to be the force that is truly for good.
First off, I want to say how accommodating everyone at North Coast was for letting me do this, being helpful for me doing this, and just being chill, going with the flow. Everyone I talked to at North Coast, from the social media team, people working the stages, people, the promoters who booked me, were super helpful, super kind, super caring, and they are in it for the artists. And that's why they book so many silent disco people, and that's why they put even like a bunch of local DJs on some of the stages earlier in the day. And they want to try hard to build up a community around these artists that support North Coast as well. And that's why Sherm has played North Coast 6 times, because he's built a community there. And if they would have told me no saxophone, I probably still would have done it. It would have been hard to turn down, but I asked right away if I could do saxophone silent disco. I knew it was possible. It didn't work out how I hoped. Essentially, I got there when doors opened, when the silent disco started. I didn't have time for a sound check, nor did I ask one. I should have asked for one, because by the time it was time to set up for my set, about 5 minutes before 9 when I went on, the mic slot the gain was like incredibly high. It was on a Nexus mixer, and I'm used to plugging my sax into DJM A9s, and I don't know, like I could barely go up like half of a notch and I would get feedback. And it was hard to judge the levels while I was playing saxophone. I mean, it always is. If I'm doing levels and playing saxophone and DJing, I'm always keep my mind on how the saxophone sounds. So at first I thought, I'm not gonna be able to play sax for the set because I am picking up so much of Zed at the same time I was playing. And that was really hard, and probably that first 10 minutes was the worst 10 minutes of maybe Ray Callahan so far. Because I had put so much promotion on Instagram saying, not so silent disco, DJ saxophone set at the silent disco, you have to be there. And then it didn't come into fruition, and at first it felt like it wasn't possible. It felt like it was me, and like I was just picking up the sound from the other stage. But the thing is, I knew about 9:45 Zed finished, and I would have 15 minutes without him playing. So shortly before 9:45, I start getting my sax ready. And 9:45 hits, he stops playing. I still cannot go very high on the gain knob on the mic 1 slot without getting feedback. I don't know. I've never played on a Nexus mixer before, so I don't really know what was up with it. I ended up just doing it and turning the volume up on the tracks. It was kind of people had to turn their headphones down, but it worked. But another thing was the wireless signal from my wireless mic in my saxophone was clashing with the wireless signal of the silent disco headphones. So I had to stand very close to my wireless receiver, and that was kind of awkward. But I did it. I played a few tracks with saxophone. Some people joined, like 5 or 6 people at the end. And then when I was done at 10, they're like, man, that was so cool. That might have been the best thing I heard all weekend. And it was so much fun. It wasn't what I expected it to be, but I knew it was going to be an uphill battle from the moment I got the gig, and I wanted to try and promote this as possible. I did promote it a lot, and I got more followers from promoting it, and that probably was bigger for me than the actual playing the set. But what turned out to be really cool is it just ended up being me and my friends and my biggest supporters. It was around 5 or 6 because people were going to catch the headliners. Heck, I wish I could have caught Zed. I love Zed. But I did it. Would I do things differently? Maybe would have asked for a sound check. I don't even know if it would have been possible. Probably could have fixed those issues. Would have needed to somehow go in the settings of the Nexus mixer. Because like I said, I could barely go up on that, and I was getting feedback. But yeah, so how do you capitalize on the biggest gig that you've had thus far? And for me, all of it was just mindset. Sophie Tucker gig was huge to get, and so was the silent disco. And I'm happy everything I did to promote it beforehand. We're playing saxophone. I called out Daily Bread to join me at the silent disco. I called out Timmy Trumpet to join me at the silent disco. Don't know what would have happened if they actually did, but I gained followers from those things, and I had people notice my set. They didn't show up. I mean, they might have. I don't know. I didn't notice. So I gave everything I got, and just remind me that every opportunity is as big as you make it. You can push and push and push for these big festival sets. But if you're not treating these smaller gigs and these sets where it may not be the perfect representation of what you do, but if you're not giving them 100%, 110%, then what are you going to do when these big festival sets come around and you finally get them? How are you going to promote it? What's your mindset going to be like going into it after it? Anyways, North Coast was amazing. Hoping to be back next year at the Shipyard. We're manifesting it because that's what Ray Callahan does. And yeah, keep following me on Instagram. Keep supporting. So much fun stuff that's lined up.